Okay, so it's been about a month. So Oxidize happened. So Oxidize Conf, the embedded Rust conference that I was helping to run, happened, and that's where I've been for the last month. Is actually taking a lot of stuff from this Internet of Streams project and putting it towards the workshops for Oxidize. So I ended up writing a couple of training modules. Let me pull those up real quick, just so people watching the stream can see them. Also, probably you shouldn't see my OBS screen. Not that it matters, but let's make a new screen here. So I ended up writing a couple of. And apologies for the audio quality today. I'm not in my office, which means I don't have my nice mic. Which means I'm just on laptop audio right now, so it's gonna sound worse than it normally does. But I figured I needed a bit of an excuse to get back in the stream, and my dog is currently taking a nap, so let's see how far I can make it in about an hour. So I ended up writing two training courses using the same hardware that I'm using for the Internet of Streams, that Decawave DWM 1001 dev board. There's kind of two classes in here, advanced and beginner. Beginner is aimed at people who have never worked with embedded Rust before, so it's kind of a fun example guided course to color some LEDs remotely using the radio. The advanced course is meant for people who are familiar with writing embedded Rust and are looking to learn how to make drivers, so kind of implement their own HAL crate, and then also working on making it asynchronous, so working on some of the challenges of building safe abstractions over unsafe code. So feel free to check that out. All of our materials, well, the code's MIT and Apache, kind of the same as most other Rust projects, and then all the written parts of the courses are CC by share alike v4. So basically, credit us if you use it, and make sure that your changes are shared the same way. But yeah, we've got this. This kind of acts as a plug-in module for the rest of the courses we have for Ferris Systems. So the Rust in 3 days course. But these are the two courses we used at the workshops. There's also an RTFM workshop, and Corkin89 posted his workshop material up on his GitHub space. I don't have the link handy, but I think it's like Corkin89 RTFM workshop or something like that. So that's also up there. Okay, so yeah, hey Sam P20. Yeah, Sam P20 is working on an interesting scheduler based on the same hardware. So I'm excited to see how that works. It's got some stuff like stack limitations to make sure the different contexts or threads don't touch each other's memory. And I suggest using Japaric's cargo call stack, which generates the max stack that should be necessary. So we'll see if that ends up getting built in there. Maybe for now as a manual process, but in the future as not a manual process. So, like I said, over the last month I've been working on these workshops, and since it's a similar code base and the same hardware, I've actually kind of taken the Internet of Streams code as a starting place and worked really hard to build up some convenient stuff over the last month. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is trying to roll back a lot of that stuff into the Internet of Streams project proper. I've built a couple things. One of them is a serialization library called Postcard. So in previous streams, I've complained that SS Marshall, while being very good and good enough for what I needed at the time, wasn't 100% what I wanted. It didn't support things like variable length fields. It didn't support a couple other things. I've complained a lot about logging in here, and I ended up creating a project called NRF52 bin logger, which is not perfect. I still have some problems in terms of how it handles serial port transactions, but basically the point of it is to turn a stream of bytes, so a UART's kind of like a bidirectional stream of bytes, one way in and one way out. Instead of being a stream of bytes, instead be a stream of structs. So it serializes and deserializes messages and handles the framing automatically for you. So maybe I'll roll that in. That still needs some cleanup. It's good enough for a workshop and maybe not good enough for production, if that makes sense. It works as long as you don't look at it too hard. What are some other stuff? Oh, at the Oxidize Impl days, we were We were able to get a 0.8 version of the NRF stuff, so integrating some of the changes that so I've got this NRF52 HAL backport, so I can get rid of that because that was all stuff that was going to release in 0.8, and that has released now. And some stuff. I'm going to look at the code, and with a month of new eyes, I'm going to probably complain a lot about my own code, but this is going to be kind of a cleanup stream, and like I said, it'll go until my dog wakes up and starts barking or wandering around and wants to go out for a walk or something like that. So maybe half hour, maybe an hour. We'll see. This is getting back in the habit of streaming. So as always, I'll do my best to remember that you can't see the bottom right corner of my screen. So I'm going to put a little card there to try and remember myself because I know I'm pretty bad about that. And if you have any questions, somewhere down in this corner I have the Rust embedded IRC, so I don't always pay attention to the comments on YouTube. So if you want to talk to me, come join IRC, and I'll keep an eye on that. So probably the first thing is gonna be taking the sensor node project and moving that forward to use the DWM 1000 2.0 or 0.2.0 release. So Hano released an update to that, and I believe that is actually based on the NRF 52080. So that should get us most of the updates that we need. Let's start with that. So sensor node main. Okay, so I've got these. I have code. It is certainly code. So let's go. I think is there a patch in here? No, okay. I didn't end up patching in here. For the workshop, I ended up patching some stuff because it's still based on DWM 0.1.1, and I needed some things that weren't there. Probably should clean that up too. But I'm technically on vacation right now, so I get to do what I want. So let's just do this. Let's see where it complains. For exactly one. Okay, so there's a thing here. Hano, this is what I was complaining about. So with the NRF52 HAL, oh cool, it's got two versions of the HAL in there. For the NRF52 HAL, there are two packages that have different amounts of RAM and flash. And for the sake of safety, we by default pick the XXAB package, which has less. That way people can't super get it wrong. The problem is no one actually, as far as I know, uses the AB package on dev boards. So the default is usually the opposite of what most people want. But let's look at a cargo tree to figure out who's, and just the duplicates to figure out who's pulling in. So someone's going to be pulling in the crate twice. So I'm going to go look at the NRF52 HAL. So the sensor node, that's pulling in the right one. Oh, good. All of my utility crates are still using this. Okay. So let's go into URD logger. This is now going to use 0.8 protocol, which really shouldn't have the NRF52 in there at all. What does it have it in there? Oh, I thought I fixed this at some point. This demo message stuff. Huh. Oh well. Well, I will, I'll refactor that at some point. Okay, let's... Okay, who's still relying on this? Did I not hit save? Okay, I hit save on all my tommels. NRF pack. Well, I've got two of those, certainly, still. HAL sensor node. I am the problem. Why am I pulling in utils? What is utils? Don't even remember my own code at this point. Utils. probably in deserialize okay. DW1000 ended up having an update, and you can see that it's pulled in. I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. You can see that it's pulled in twice. That's probably because in my top level crate I have it listed as a dependency. I don't know why I have it listed as a dependency. It probably doesn't need to be. I probably directly use this, but what I should do instead is, I bet you this is re-exported. I don't even know why I had that in there. Yep, and some stuff has changed. 2 versions of the pack. That doesn't look good. So let's use our cargo tree, and the -D is duplicate, so it only shows you stuff where you have multiple versions of this. The pack. Why am I pulling in the pack? I should not do that. Where do I pull in the pack? I think there was a fix for this, and someone showed me this. 52832 HAL. I think if you use the fully qualified path, it doesn't require that anymore. I think someone either at the workshop or on IRC told me that. $56. DW1000 ready. Okay, let's pull the ready from the DW1000. Okay. This function takes 6 parameters. I think the DW1000 changed. Ah, right, because now we're no longer hard coding that. So let's hope this doesn't go awfully. Oh, it's probably gonna lag, so I apologize for that. But I need my docs. I still see it documenting the pack V060, so that's bothersome. Documentation is important. I meant to do my documentation before the stream, but the other thing that I found, there's this really cool tool called Mainframer. People who are at the Impl Days are probably going to laugh because I'm so excited about it. But essentially, it lets you rsync some stuff to a remote computer, run the command over there, and then bring back the build results. Okay, you know what? We're just going to go. We're gonna go look at the DW. Yeah, sure. You export this, and for the new DW1000, you require a spim config. So I'll need a spim config. And I know you impl default, and default is pretty much what I need. So where do you are, what, are you the first? No, you're the last. Not associated. I thought I'd impl default for you. I sure didn't. Come on. copy this. This is going to copy correctly. You're sure going to complain that it's going to complain that it doesn't know what spim is. Where do I get spim from? And why is the formatting for this so bad? I don't know what's up with that. Do I need to refresh? No, the source is just kind of borked. So this definitely comes from the... Okay, actually, this is going to be enough. Yep, I know you don't have default. That's okay. I should have impl default. I don't know why I didn't impl default. Oh. Right. That's why I didn't impl default, because it's an option. If you don't do it, then it does default for you. Haha. So I don't need these. Maybe in the future I will figure that out. The biggest thing is how fast the SPI interface is there. And I don't know how you change the SPI interface speed. If it requires like first starting it at a lower speed and then changing it. But yeah. So 87, we don't need this stuff anymore because I realized in my streams where I was doing the low frequency clock that the way that I did the clock stuff doesn't make sense at all. So expected one parameter. What does broadcast require? DW, this is going to be in the exported DW1000, and then there's going to be something, maybe MAC, address, broadcast address mode. We've only been doing the 64 short. Okay, so you need a DW1000 MAC address, and you need a MAC frame address mode. Sure. We've been doing short addresses so far. So where's my broadcast? Expected reference. It's a little silly that it takes a reference to an enum, but I guess. Yeah, taking a reference to a U8 is kind of silly, but I didn't implement that, so there's probably a good reason for it. Hey, Yoteki is saying that ProBars is making progress again. I'm actually super excited about that. I saw that you ordered some of the DAP-Link stuff. That'd be interesting to see if that's any more reliable or any more reasonable to work with than the STM32 stuff, or like the J-Links that are on this board. Oh, that's just a USB cable. I'm trying not to move my... I think this is an STM3210F on here for the debugger. Oh, excuse me, STM32F072. So this is actually one of the F0s that it's using for the J-Link firmware. But I am excited for that ProBars stuff because I would like something more reliable that works. Okay, so this does seem to build, so let's... 7. I didn't add anything. Nah. Okay. Working with TWM 1001 V020 slash and NRF 52832 how V0.8.1. Should actually make sure that it's 8.1. It doesn't work like that. Multiple SYN, that's probably fine. This is all dev dependencies. Who's pulling in? Why am I pulling in 060? I don't understand that. Oh, did I not hit save? Cool. That did get rid of that. Oops. It's like it never happened. Okay, cool. So now we have that. Eventually, I should probably do this for, because if I were to push this right now, all of my POCs and stuff would break. Oh yeah, there's another one I have called better logging. Oh, but this is just... I probably stashed all that code, but it's gone now. That was just me working. Like I said, when I was working in the workshop stuff, I ended up working out of the Internet of Streams stuff because yeah, that's how it needed to happen. Let's see, are there newer versions of any of my dependencies while I'm updating stuff? So I found a while ago a cool tool called Chit, which is create help in terminal, which really 100% of what I use it for is, ooh, there's a 1.1. It's probably what I'm already using, but let's make sure I have it. 100% of what I've used it for is to find the newest version of a crate so I don't have to go look on crates.io. My dog has now woken up and he's probably gonna start chewing on the couch, which is not so cool. I hope he would go to sleep, because if not, I will have to end the stream after a very short amount of streaming. Release candidate, not quite ready to take a release candidate right now. I'm off screen right now petting my dog. Well, probably like half on screen while I'm waiting for my code. Ooh, hey. Duplicate signal core peripherals. So this is that issue that we ran into before. When I say we, I mean us at Oxidize. So who's pulling in? What this is, if you see something like that, that means that two people are bringing in the Cortex-M crate. I need to figure out who's pulling in two versions of the Cortex-M crate. 058 is being pulled in by them, and Panic Ram Dump is pulling in 060. So I still don't know the perfect way to update this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hand fix this. And someone in the chat should probably tell me how I do this more correctly. And I don't know why this is 0. I did update you to 043, right? Why am I pulling in Cortex-M semi-hosting? I don't even want that. Do I have it on my TOML? I don't think I have it on my TOML. It's probably being brought in by someone else. .0. I bet you DWM 1001 doesn't support that. Let's actually not do this. Okay, why am I? Panic Ram Dump. Nope, not what I wanted. What are your dependencies? Okay, well, I guess we're going to roll back panic ram dump. We'll have to deal with that another day. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Don't chew on the couch. That's not cool. Not a fan of that. Yeah. This is my dog voice. Let's pull up the dog. Well, yeah, I guess he's not sleeping right now. Eric. This is a cool one. He bites the couch. Let's see if I can get him to chill out for a little bit while we're waiting for builds. Two versions of Cortex-M being used. Uh-oh. Ergo update -p Cortex-M. Oh, what's that, buddy? I'm definitely still seeing two Cortex-M's in there. It's the trade-offs of having a package manager system. When everyone's working on stuff, it means the stuff gets updated. Why? Oh, okay, no. That's fine, because they're using the semver trick now, which is why I'm pulling in 060. Where are you going, buddy? Oh, that's right, your toys are over here. Quote. As long as, yeah, you pulling it in is fine. Yeah, because now everyone's using Cortex-M 060, because 0, 5, 10. I guess there was a 10, there was a 9 that I thought fixed everything, but I wonder what's in 10. If everything is using 10 or 6, then that's fine, because we're doing a full semver trick now. So that's actually wonderfully pleasant. Who's using... Oh good, we're using two versions of the align crate, but hopefully that shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, well, what's different? Yeah, that looks about right. Actually, I wonder now that I've upgraded that, I wonder if I can get away from, oh no, why would you do that? Where you going, buddy? You can hang out there. That's fine. Cool. So now we've got updated dependencies. That's lovely. Let's stay bleeding edge. What do I need? I wonder, while we're here, what do you support? You require Cortex-M greater than 054. SamP20 is knowing if I can access linker parameters from Rust code. I'd like to read stack start. It might be stack start from Cortex-M RT into a usize. Yes, Sam, you can. Let's go look at Cortex-M RT. I know you're going to be delayed, so you are going to see this in a second, but you can look at, there is an extern. So you can do stuff like this. So this is probably what you're going to look at because the linker will export these symbols. So SAMP20, you'll hear in the stream shortly. See. So essentially, because the linker script is going to define these symbols, as long as these actually get done at link time, that's fine. You will get these symbols as long as they are exported. So you can look and see what the link.x that is generated by there needs to do that. But essentially, these will just resolve at link time. So just use extern symbols, and you'll need to use there. But you can kind of follow SPSS and EBSS and things like that to see what is exported in the linker script. So as long as it's exported in the linker script, you will be able to get to it there, and you will get a compile error if, yeah. So you've now seen it in IRC, so hopefully now you've heard the full explanation. And my dog is getting rowdier and rowdier, so I'm going to try and get postcard swapped out for SS Marshall, but that actually might be a little over aggressive because, oh, hey. Yeah, that might be all I have today. Only been going for half an hour, but we'll see. Maybe we'll come back on later after I've taken him for a walk and he's getting less rowdy. I'm gonna try putting him down, see if he'll lay back down. Say goodbye, Kuma. Bye-bye. And see if he'll chill out and chew on his toys. But if he's gonna be rowdy, then I'm gonna have to take him out and go on a walk and tire him out a little bit because I can't have him chewing. So I don't even remember what the own version. Postcard 032. So I'm going to get rid of this, and it's going to cause everything to not compile. I don't know if you can hear him grumbling in the background, but it is comical. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Why'd you do this? Nope, he's having none of it. Okay, well, this was a short half hour of me updating some of my dependencies. I'll probably come back for another half hour or hour today, depending on how agreeable he is. But yeah, I guess I'll have probably a week of bite-sized streams or something like that. I'll figure out some way to spin this, but yeah. So the next step is going to be to switch over from SS Marshall to Postcard. For our serialization, and then probably also clean up some of the other dependencies. But hopefully this was useful, especially if you end up running into the Cortex-M problems, how you can use cargo tree D, so you can figure out who's doing the offensive thing. And if you run into a problem with double core peripherals, that's because we made some breaking changes, but now there's a full Semver trick in there. So yeah, you can just use Cortex M0510. I think 059 or newer should work. I don't know why the 10 exists, but yeah, feel free to check it out. And yeah, I'll see you all probably later today or shortly in the next stream. Thanks for watching.